Because breaking news out of North Carolina regarding a search for a 7-year-old boy in the Randolph County area. Let's go live out to Randolph County now.
It helped out quite a bit, but this is not the outcome that we expected. We discovered Liam King's body at 10:15 this morning in a pond located approximately 1/10 of a mile from where he was staying at. The body is going to be sent to Chapel Hill medical examiner's office to be examined and to determine cause of death. And I want to thank the community for their outpouring of support, meals, water. We couldn't ask for any better support from the neighbors and citizens down in that area, the businesses in southern Randolph County that supported us. The number of volunteers that showed up that were experienced in search and rescue. We had them all the way from New Hanover County. And, you know, that's what it's all about, sheriffs helping sheriffs in a time of need. And I wish we had positive information to give you, but hopefully we can learn something from this and be better next time. Our goal was to find him alive, and we did not achieve that goal. I want to thank all the people behind me that spent most of the last 50 hours working either at the airport or at our command bus on Forest Hills Drive. I will open it up for any questions that you may have.
Sheriff, we saw you pretty emotional over there. Can you speak to that?
Anytime you deal with a child, you know, you become somewhat emotional. You know, we all have kids. I've got grandkids, and you put yourself in that position. And you know, this child had a life to live, and it was taken away from him. And I know he's in a much better place now, though.
Is there any sort of reason to believe there was any foul play involved in this, or was it confirmed that he did run off?
We're in the process of investigating that at the present time. We're not going to rule it out. We're going to check and make sure that everything's good with the body, and the medical examiner will do a thorough investigation, examination of Liam's body.
And around how long will that take?
It will take several weeks.
What was he doing at that house? I know you had mentioned yesterday that he was visiting somebody. Can you give us any more information on that? Who was he visiting?
Liam was with his mother's boyfriend at the time, and the boyfriend actually lived at that residence, and he was overseeing the child during that period when he disappeared.
Was he alone? Was the mom there too, or was he alone?
No, the mom was at another location.
Who found him and what time exactly was he discovered?
The body was found approximately 10:18 this morning a.m. by Brunswick County Search and Rescue.
Can you confirm if Liam was found in the same pond that you were talking about yesterday that you guys were working to drain?
No, this was a different pond. The first pond was a priority for us due to the location of it. It was on the property or closest to the property where he was at, and it gave us a flag, red flag, that he could possibly be in that pond. After searching it, draining it, he moved on to the next pond.
How many miles away was that
It
from?
was approximately 1/10 of a mile away from the residence.
Was that an area he frequented with his family, friends?
He had been there a couple times.
And can you explain to us, just for people who don't know this area, just how many ponds are in that little area?
We, we're a farming community here in Randolph County, and, there's ponds that I never knew existed in that area until we started walking, and you would find ponds located here and there. Looking at GIS, it gives you a better understanding of just how many farm ponds are in Randolph County. Quite a few.
And hearing this from some people in the community who were saying that they were frustrated that they weren't able to go out and help her, can you just help us inform our viewers of why it was so important that it was a law enforcement led?
As I stated in the last press conference, the best thing they could do to help the citizens was to check their own property in that area. And, this limb was found on someone else's property. We did not want people that were not trained to come in and tamper with evidence, even disrupt evidence that could be used for further investigation down the road if we needed it. And that would, you've got people that are untrained that don't know really what to look for. And that's why we had trained individuals go out initially and look at all the possible places he could possibly be.
What kind of evidence were you looking for?
Anything in this type case, from clothing, lost shoe, just any indication of the direction in which he may have been traveling.
I know we're still early in this investigation, but could we expect charges against the boyfriend?
We will have to, we're at the very beginning of the investigation, and we will have to look at everything, take all the evidence for the district attorney, and go from there. It's too early to say.
There's a program called Project Lifesaver that's implemented in Wake County. It provides bracelets to kids who have cognitive impairments for kids to be able to track them. Is that something you guys could possibly implement in the future, or plan to implement something like that if this does occur in the future?
That would be very helpful to us. We have that same program with dementia patients here in Randolph County, and it would be very helpful. It would lead us straight to that person. And Liam was not subject to doing this, on a consistent basis. So I don't know if he would be eligible or, I guess, warranted to have a bracelet. I could see where if a child does that quite often, it would help us quite a bit in finding and locating that person.
And how would you go about implementing a program like that in the future?
We would look at it. The first thing is knowledge. I want to get someone to come in and talk to us about. I learned a lot, and we all learned a lot about dealing with the cognitive decline, the person who we think is slow, but they're really not slow. They're smart, and we want to learn as much as we possibly can about the condition he had. And there's a program that is circulating in the state of North Carolina now that offers that, and we're talking neighboring sheriffs about having that program come to us and where we could sit down and learn more about autism.
Do you understand what the primary caretaker is?
I do not know.
Do you know if his father is involved in any way in his life? Or was he?
I think he is, yes.
Have you spoken to the family? How are they doing?
They're, tore up. As you might could imagine, the mother is, she was out there every minute of that search time, and she's doing as any mother would do, coping with it minute by minute. And just pray for her, pray for the family, and pray for these people behind me. They're the ones that pulled him out of the pond. They're the ones that had to put aside their normal daily activity of being with their family to deal with this. They're the heroes that I look up to each and every day. It was near the edge, and we had checked that pond before initially, and there was nothing. We did not locate the body.
That was my next question, actually. Was there any evidence that maybe he had been wandering around these past few days when he just ended up there, or did it seem like he get them there the first time?
Well, it appeared to our investigators that he went to the first pond that we tracked him with GPS, the phone ping. It showed that he was at that pond, and then went down a main logging road, and that logging road ended up at this pond. And, that was a tenth of a mile from the house, approximately 700 feet, maybe a little over.
You're saying he had a phone on his person?
He had a phone, but it did not operate a lot of the times. We did try to use it, the technology that we have to ping his location, and we utilized that to put us at the first pond. That's why that first pond was very important for us to look at and search.
So to clear up some confusion with some people who obviously are not here and doing the investigation online, whenever you learned of his disappearance, you saw the GPS where he was located. You started at the pond, correct?
We started in the house where he originally was, and we searched every bit, and then we continued outside and did a perimeter search of the outside, and it led us to the pond.
Do you have a final message for our viewers?
No, I just want to say that thank you for your support, Randolph County citizens. They're the best, and I want to thank these men and women behind me for putting their family to the side and going to help someone else's family. That's what it's all about. Just continue to pray for the King family because they will need it.
Can I ask you, you mentioned that it was Brunswick County. Of course, they're Coastal County, they're not close to here. Was there something about the expertise of the technology they brought to that helped lead to that discovery?
No, I don't think it had anything to do with the expertise. That was their next area to search. And, I think anybody trained in search and rescue would have found the body.
Can you confirm, was the mom, boyfriend, and the father of Liam a part of the search efforts, and were there any other family members taking note?
We communicated with them throughout the search. But as far as them participating in it, no.
And he did not have a history of wandering.
No.
Do you know what the boyfriend was doing at the time that he left the house?
That will be part of our investigation.
Can you share more just about, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but just curious about the other jurisdictions that came in, what kind of resources they were able to bring in? I know there were some diabetes, different things like that. Can you just kind of elaborate on that?
We had technology from drones, airplanes. We had SBI airplane. We had our airplane that we have. We have helicopters. Highway Patrol had their helicopter. Brunswick County brought their helicopter. We had infrared sonar for underwater rescue. And dive teams from all around the state, search and rescue teams. And is there anything else major? But we had an outpouring of support. And, you know, my phone is loaded with messages wanting to come and help. And, you know, when something bad happens in a community such as this, it brings the community together. You know, going out and trying to help this family with their problem, and that's what it's all about.
Do you know what time he actually went missing to when you got the call?
That's still in the investigation phase of it.
Talk about lessons learned. I know a lot of people are resources and what throughout this experience do you think the sheriff's department learned? What is there any equipment that you think would have benefited in the search that was likely to be any equipment that didn't work? Like in general for searching rescue, what did you learn?
Well, Scott, the first thing is phone service in that area. We had none. And we had to get with emergency operations, state emergency management, and they helped us with the system that is we used out west some time ago for phone service. We're in the process of purchasing that here, I think, with Randolph County Emergency Management. We just haven't received it yet. So we acted with, I guess, the best way we could with the phone service being the way it was, and we quickly got it up and working much quicker than I thought we would. And but working with the state and federal folks, they said we did a great job. You know, we don't do this but once every 4 or 5 years, and it seemed like we didn't have any bad critiques from it, other than not locating Liam before he went to the pond.
State resources, was that FirstNet that you were responding to, you were referring to?
It was
FirstNet,
Starlink.
and Verizon. Did your Viper resources work out? Did you bring up any Viper interoperability to help with that? We did, but I think Captain Grady can probably speak to that better.
Evan Grady, Randolph County Emergency Management. So we did bring in a specialist that is trained through the state North Carolina Emergency Management System to help deal with communication issues, failures, shortcomings. So he, through Chatham County, brought some equipment, a trailer, some cellular data equipment, and Starlink equipment to boast what we could in that vicinity. As the sheriff said, the site presented a lot of issues with connectivity, and we did the best we can by bringing in that resource. Emergency management, our goal is to bring in resources that we don't have currently or that we need in other mutual aid departments or other state agencies might have. So the liaison is the emergency management, working closely with the sheriff's office helping identify needs of the responders on scene and getting those here as quickly as possible. That was very effective in this case, from manpower to equipment to food. The process worked very well.
Sheriff, you mentioned the emotional side of this, and I'm just wondering what kind of support is available for those responders and volunteers who kind of invested themselves emotionally and had this unfortunate tragic outcome.
Back in 2018, when I started as a sheriff here, we started a peer support team, which is a group of individuals that are trained and also work alongside you day to day, that can counsel you, that can look and see if there's any inconsistencies with your behavior after seeing something like this or experiencing something like this. So we're here helping each other, and that will continue throughout the next year, I'm sure. This is one of the longest search and rescues we've ever had here in Randolph County.
Do we think that he would have been found sooner if the service was better out there, since he did have the phone on him? Do we know if that was like an issue with him?
No, I don't think the phone service played a huge part. We were there. We would have done, even if we had grade A phone service, we would have done what we did initially. And I don't think it would play a part, no.
Had that pond that was found, had that already been searched?
Yes, it had. We had went around it and used sticks along the side, and we did not locate the body. Any other questions? I want to thank you personally. I know y'all spend a lot of time down there. I appreciate it, and anytime you deal with the death of a child, you've got to handle it very tactfully, and you guys and girls did a great job doing that. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, welcome back to Live Impact News. You saw the conclusion of that press conference there. Tragic news out of North Carolina as 7-year-old Liam King, missing since Sunday, found in a pond this morning at 10:18 a.m. by search and rescue. King was nonverbal, again, 7 years old. His death remains an active investigation. He was last seen in the Forest Hills Drive area of Asheboro, and now this morning, again, 10:18 a.m., his body found in a pond, and Liam King confirmed dead. So tragic news out of North Carolina. Obviously, our thoughts with anyone, friends, family of Liam King, and hopefully that investigation uncovers some truth. I know that one reporter did ask specifically, could we expect charges against the boyfriend? Now, us here in Hampton Roads, we don't know the details. We don't know the full situation. We just started listening to this press conference as you did, but that was a question that was asked. No answer was given. No definitive answer was given to that question. It was a question that was asked by one of the reporters in that room, which seems relevant to the fact that the death remains under an active investigation. So we'll continue to keep you updated on anything else that comes out in regards to that case.